To be honest with you, I came up with this video because I wanted to, so many people ask me about working from home, and I've seen comments on my videos where people are like, HR can't work from home, child, it can. Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Heyyy HR, and today I'm going to tell y'all all about these work at home scams, child, because we all trying to work from home. I am so blessed that I work as an HR business partner for a global tech company, and I do it from the comfort of my home. If you're looking for a work from home opportunity, this is stuff I want y'all to look out for. So if you want to know which scams you should avoid when looking for a work from home opportunity, then keep on watching. Now listen, I wasn't going to leave y'all out here with just a video that you got to search for later, you might can't find. What I did was I put it in writing and I put a lot of links to it, and I have it on my website in a blog. So I'll definitely put the link in the description box, grab it there. All of this information that I'm having in this video is there, but I have even more information. Now you can have it tangible in your hand. True? All right. Now, first I want to go over some of the ways that scammers find you, because we assume that going to look for a work from home opportunity is either one that's pretty much non-existent, or we assume that it's one that we have to go through something a little bit different to find. Honestly, you find work from home opportunities very similar than you would a regular opportunity, but it's also the same places where scammers find you. So let's make sure that we're careful in avoiding these pitfalls that scammers will get us in. Many times scammers will find you simply from job boards. Indeed, as well as LinkedIn, are very good about filtering those out. I have found probably no scammers through those opportunities. Unfortunately, and I hate to do this to these big brands because I respect these big brands, but I found the most scammers that find me is when I post my resume on these two particular job boards. I'm pretty sure there are more, but two of them that I know I've ran into some scammers that's like truly trying to scam me is on monster.com and Career Builder. Now, I really respect those places. I like them a lot. They've been around for ages. They're very, very full of opportunities. So I won't tell you that all of the opportunities there are scammers, but for some reason the scammers get through on their systems, child. Like, they have found me there. So you want to know that when you go to look for an opportunity, yes, you want to diversify the job boards that you're using to find your opportunity, but you want to be careful because some of them, I guess, they don't have the filters to filter out these scammers as good as they should. And I've found those when I posted my resume on Monster and Career Builder. So be very, very careful because that's how they find you. Another way that they will find you is through text messages with a link. So obviously they find your information from AI information, because honestly, like if you use social media, if you use job boards, if you use almost anything online, scammers can literally pull your information from that. That's the same way that recruiters find you. They'll find you through AI information that they use through different sources. If you aren't familiar with AI recruiting boards or how to use AI in recruiting, then I'll put the video here because there's a video I did all about like AI and recruitment and how recruiters find you. That's the same way that scammers can find you. There are some industries that depend on text messages. The most of them will depend on them after they've already like verified from you that they're okay or reach out to you initially. But scammers will send you one automatically, making it seem like this is your opportunity. We found you, you're looking for a job. Just go ahead and complete the process or start the process here by clicking on this link. Y'all be careful with them damn links you get in your text messages. Personally, I don't hit any of them. So I suggest that you do not hit links in text messages. If it comes from an opportunity, look for their phone number and call them, or send an email directly to that recruiter, or find that recruiter on LinkedIn and then send a message. But do not click on those links because they will literally go into your phone, take all of your information there, probably block you out of your own phone. I mean, they're getting ridiculous, child, these days. So they own some stuff. Avoid those text messages. Another way that they'll find you is by posting fake job postings on reputable sites. So they can use things like Indeed or LinkedIn to post them. I personally have noticed that it's not as common as other job boards. I feel like they're pretty safe, but sometimes I have seen like some scammer job postings, and it's hard to identify them. I think because I have spent so much time as not only a recruiter, but a journalist where I'm posting jobs, I know what the back end looks like. I know how we post these jobs, and there are little things that I'm like, that's not how we post it, or that's not a part that we use, or that's not a part that's visible to applicants, or what have you. And sometimes, I hate to say it, but a lot of these scammers are not in the US, so they go through doing it because in different countries, like you post jobs differently, and so they go through doing the way that they know, and there's not a way that's common to the US resident or a US applicant. And so they will post jobs and it's little meticulous things you look for, but be very careful. So some of the things I would suggest that you look for when you look at a job posting is research that company's name. If you see a company name you're not familiar with, like go on Glassdoor, go on their website, go on LinkedIn, like see if you can find that company. If you can't find it, child, or it's in a whole nother country, be careful. Now, I don't know why I didn't put this way as the absolute number one, because this is the top way that they will find you. They're going to send you behind an email. That is the next way that scammers will find you, is that they found your email, particularly through like AI, even the black web, like even through like where you have given one party the access or the authority to send your information out to third parties. They'll get your information, particularly your email address, and they'll send you an email. And the email, I've noticed that the emails are in different formats. So it's hard for me to say, if you see it in this format, that's a scam. But the most common format I'll see is that they'll give me like a 2-liner and then they post the whole job description. Things are bolded in there and they're repetitive. Like the requirements may be very repetitive to the duties, things like that. And most job postings, we give you like an overview initially, what we expect of this job, what the duties are, and then like minimum expectations. And I've noticed that in each of those sections, like there are lines that are literally replicated. Another thing that they'll do is they'll post out temporary positions in emails. So they'll say, this is a contract role, this is a freelance role, you're guaranteed this time, that time. That happens in normal recruitment emails, but it's very, very common when they're scamming you. Just be careful. What I would suggest you do, you just want to put your mouse, like your cursor, directly over that email, and most times the address itself will highlight if it's not already shown. Most times it's already shown. What you want to do is look at that company name at the bottom or in the email where they're telling you work for XYZ company, and make sure that email matches. Now, a lot of people do use third parties. So if I were you and you're like, no, it doesn't match, another way to verify it's not a scammer is to just take that company name that's in the end of that email and the email domain, and you want to take that and like just don't copy it, don't click it, don't link it, don't reply to it, but you want to just type it into your browser and see what comes up. You can even type that person's name. I know that there's another guy, I've told you guys about him often. He's been on my channel a few times, and I asked him about, like, I get a lot of scam emails for brand deals and sponsorships. I was like, this doesn't even sound right. It feels real scammy, but it's kind of getting me. And he was like, nope, it could be a scam. Research them in LinkedIn. He was like, before I take on a brand deal or a sponsorship, I research them in LinkedIn. And so now that's what I do before I move forward. But if the email doesn't match, most times I just don't go forward. So that's definitely the 4 places where a scammer will find you. So let's say we move forward, right? We go through all these places and you're like, but Tamika didn't say this, Tamika didn't say that, and you move forward with it. One way that a few ways that we can verify that these are scams are definitely obvious ways. So the first way is, and this has happened to me a couple times, y'all. They're clever now. They're clever. But you'll go through, you schedule this interview, and when you schedule the interview, you click on it at the time that you think it looks like a Zoom, but when you get on there, the person's just going. That's a scam. Sometimes it is sales roles, but I personally don't feel right. Like, my vibe is off if you got me on an interview and you're telling me all about the job and I go to ask a question and you're still talking. If I can't talk to a direct person, child, this ain't no interview. Even if you have nothing to say, if you feel like this person's just going on and on and on about the company and about the position, about what you'll do, say, hey, I have a question. And if they keep going, click y'all ass off that Zoom because it's a fraud. Now, another way you definitely want to be careful of is, let's say you go past all of the signs, you miss them, you go ahead and move forward, and they automatically send you an email or give you a phone call saying, hey, I need this information from you. What they'll ask for is like new hire paperwork. They'll ask for your driver's license. They may ask for your direct deposit information. They may ask for anything that's going to show like your name, your phone number, your email, your address, your banking information. Like, y'all, do not send y'all stuff out. They will scam you. They will rob you. They will take all of your money. They will leave you homeless, child. You want to be careful about those. If you have not talked to someone, they don't have a safe portal where you're updating this information. They are giving you this information without giving you an offer letter. You haven't researched this company. You're not familiar with it. Do not send your personal information. Hold off from that, okay? Because that's what they'll use to get all the information they couldn't get from either the black web or AI and literally have their way with you. So you want to be very, very careful about that too. Another way to know that it's a scam is if you get a call late at night. Y'all, this happened to me too. To be honest with you, I came up with this video because I wanted to, so many people asked me about working from home, and I've seen comments on my videos where people are like, HR can't work from home, child, they can. So it kind of threw me off, but I also went into the library because my mother was scammed, and I went to take her to like this course or like this little session where they teach elderly. I say elderly, but they teach everybody. It's just majority of the room was elderly. I felt so bad because I'm like, they're getting over on these older folks. But they had paperwork and brochures out there, and I added in information to it. But majority of it, I was like, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. I'm so surprised people ain't noticed. So one that I added myself that was not on that brochure is that they will call you late at night. I had a couple of them call me late at night. And one girl was like, hey, we're calling you because we're extending a job offer. And I'm like, awesome, which company did I apply to? She started stuttering. And I had applied to so many. Like, I wasn't sure. I need to get back to my spreadsheet because I use a job search tracker, right? Like you should be using. She said some name and I was like, well, maybe I applied. I don't know. So this is like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And she's like, we want you to start tomorrow. And I was like in the morning? And she was like, yes. And I was like, so when do I do like onboarding or whatever? She was like, you can do it now. I'll send you an email. And I was like, now? And she was like, yes, do it now and you can start in the morning. And I was like, so you want me to do this like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock or whatever? And she goes, Yes, do it now. Child, she a scam. I got the hell up off that phone with her. I actually had a couple of them that called me and did the same thing. And I just like blocked the number and I just hung up. But if they call you asking for information, you ain't did no interview, you ain't fill out no application, the company doesn't sound familiar. I hate to say it this way because I love my international folks. Unfortunately, it primarily comes from folks with an accent. Everybody that hit me had an accent, child. They wasn't in the U.S. They might have been in the U.S., but I can tell they had an accent. So be very, very leery of those. Do not send your information. Now, another thing that you can kind of get as a sign to know, like, okay, this is a scam, is if they're reaching out to you in various ways. They might be sending you an email, but if they've contacted you in any way possible, a phone number, an email, even WhatsApp, because I use WhatsApp, I get a lot of spammy stuff in there. However they may get a hold of you, if they're automatically saying to you, hey, we're ready for you to start, and they don't give you a company name, a contact person's name, potential new hire or hiring manager's name, if they don't give you something specific that you would traditionally get in a job offer, child, hold off. Don't send them nothing else. If they are scrambling for a name or they giving you some name that don't make no sense, like they can't give you a contact person, I'll contact you. That's what they'll like to say. It's a scam. Ignore it. Now, the final way of knowing that it's a scam is if they initially start off by telling you this is a job offer, and then you have to pay for something. And it could be a minuscule cost. They may say, well, you have to pay $2.95 for whatever, or you have to pay, $15 for whatever. Child, it's a scam. If any job's asking you to pay for something going into the door and they haven't given you anything like a job offer concrete, you're not working in a place where you literally need equipment or need protective gear or need some type of resource that day, don't do it. Even here in the US, let's be honest, if you don't have the money, they'll deduct it from your first paycheck. They'll let you pay it over time with paychecks, or they'll require that you get it. So if somebody's saying, hey, come on and pay for this now, this is a scam. Like, this ain't stuff I should even have to tell you. Y'all know this. I think the thing about it is, so many times we get so excited about an opportunity. Maybe we haven't worked in 6 months. Maybe we haven't worked in 9 months. Maybe we're sitting here and we got bills to pay. We up all night because we can't do nothing about think about the bills the next day. Maybe an unexpected expense came up and that's going to take all the rest of your money. And we let our emotions guide us into these opportunities and we ignore signs. Let me be clear. I've had my roughest days when I've been patient. Like, child, eating rice and beans, peanut butter and jelly, little 10-cent pack of noodles, whatever, because I'm like, I can't afford anything until I start making money. You have to follow patience. You have to be resilient in knowing that I can't jump on the first thing because you're going to end up in a worse predicament. But if you go out here and let a scammer get you, it's going to be way worse than the situation that got you up at night. So be very, very careful. Be very, very leery. I want to give you some signs of what you should absolutely do, which I've trickled them throughout this video. I'm going to just peep at my notes because I don't want to miss a thing to tell you guys. Some of the things that you want to do is you want to stop, check it out first, research it, like verify that this company even exists, verify they exist where you think they should exist. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you do not pay any money for anything If you gotta pay money to make money, that's a problem. Because most times, particularly in like regular average jobs, they're not expecting you to have the money to pay for stuff. They're gonna send you a laptop. They're gonna send you whatever you need. Like the company's expecting to spend this cost. It's already built into their recruitment policy. So just be prepared that if you have to spend money, that's not a good thing. Most times contractors may have to spend money to make money, not employees. So be very, very careful with that too. Do not share your personal information without getting an official offer letter. You want to make sure you got that company letterhead on it. You got their address. You got their phone number. Like everything you would look for in a regular offer letter. And you want to make sure that that offer letter includes some type of contact information, right? Either for the company or a person, or maybe that email does. You want to make sure that you already had an actual interview. Do not share your stuff without going through these things. This is just normal. If this is a company that can afford you, if this is a company that's really looking for talent, like they're gonna ask for these things because it's legalities on their end. So do not get excited. If it sounds too good to be true, 9 times out of 10, child, it's probably too good to be true. Like ignore it, okay? Now, something I want you guys to do, and I learned this from this document because I didn't even think about this myself. If it wasn't for this document I saw in the library, I wouldn't have thought about it. But one thing I want you guys to do is when you see that you potentially missed a scammer or somebody scammed you, don't be embarrassed. Warn other people. Tell other people. It's the same way you don't want this to happen to you. You don't want this to happen to other people. Tell them, hey, be careful. Don't do that. Because like my mama got stuff for over $1,000 that we couldn't track. We couldn't get. She's an older person. She thought it was legit. You know what I'm saying? I almost got scammed when I was trying to like buy a car for my daughter. Me and my daughter almost got scammed. It was her money and my money combined. One thing I do is the minute I hear somebody's got something that doesn't sound right, if you love them, you care about them, you talk to them on a regular, then you want to protect them. Like that's just the right thing to do. So make sure to tell them like, hey, no, that's a scam. I already heard about this before. Even if it hasn't happened to you, like share this video and be like, listen to Tamika now. She's been doing the game for a while. She knows what she's talking about. The next thing I want you to do, and of course this is another one that I learned from that flyer and I'm so happy about it, but I want you to report this scam. Report them to the Federal Trade Commission. We always are confused. Who do we report this to? You're going to report this to the Federal Trade Commission and you're going to call them on their direct number of 1-877-382-4357, 1-877 FTC help. That's their number. 1-800 FTC help. You're calling the Federal Trade Commission, 1-877-382-4357. So I hope that this video helped you guys in some way. And if you found any value in it at all, do me a favor and just give it a big thumbs up. I'll be so appreciative for it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next video.